Welcome to Panoramic Edition, where we discuss national, regional and international developments in depth. Since its establishment in 2012, Bahrain Foundation for Dialogue has been a leading institution that aims to promote civil dialogue, community coherence and civil harmony through a series of programs and events that highlight the importance of constructive cooperation and positive coexistence and facilitates the exchange of ideas throughout society. To talk more about that, we are pleased to be joined here in the studio by the founder and chairman of the Board of Trustees of Bahrain Foundation for Dialogue, Mr. Suhail Algosaibi, right after this. Welcome back. We are pleased to be joined here in the studio by the founder and chairman of the Board of Trustees of Bahrain Foundation for Dialogue, Mr. Suhail Algosaibi. Welcome back to the show.
Good to see you again. It's been a while. Thank you.
It has been. Thank you for coming. I mean, we've talked about the foundation before, but there's a lot of things that happened since then until now, and there is so much more information that we want our viewers to know. In order to get into it, can you give us a brief idea about the foundation and establishment, its structure, and of course its ambitions, its visions, its missions?
Sure, I'll try. It's a long question, a lot that you've asked for, but I'll do my best. Yeah. First of all, I think the last time was 6 years ago or something, so yeah. It's, for sure a lot has happened. The Bahrain Foundation for Dialogue is a non-profit, non-political foundation concerned with spreading the idea of community and social dialogue. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And that is with the purpose of having a more harmonious society. Yeah. Maybe very quickly we'll cover what our values are. Mm-hmm. They are dialogue. We believe in having dialogue, and virtually that almost, I would say, every problem can be solved through constructive and purpose-driven dialogue. Mm. We also believe in coexistence. We believe in tolerance. We believe in responsibility and initiative, meaning that if there's a problem in society, I have a strong belief, and that's reflected in the foundation, that it's everyone's responsibility to serve society. You don't want to say, this has nothing to do with me, this is someone else's problem. No, we believe in taking responsibility and initiative, and if everyone does their bit, society overall improves.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a bit about the core values? I mean, the core value of tolerance, coexistence, and dialogue is there, but how did it stem? How did that happen? How did that start off? There are the strategic goals in order to achieve these kind of targets. Tell us a bit about that.
Sure. You can't say we're about dialogue and about existence or coexistence, all these things, without taking that, without confirming that with action. Yeah, of course. So we're action-oriented, and I believe we've done a lot of work in this regard. One of the things we used to do and still do is the dialogue dinners. Mm-hmm. If you recall, we spoke about those. These are very unique events where we bring people that would normally not sit together in a room, to bring them together in a neutral place, away from the media, to discuss a certain matter. Yeah. And we would have sort of the first session, followed by the dinner, and followed by a second session. And by and large, this has a transformative effect on people. When you break bread together, you discuss things openly, something magical happens. So this and some of the other activities we do are the ways that we sort of live and implement our values, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely makes sense. I mean, I've seen a lot of people or met a lot of people that have been part of the dinners or actually are in making it happen. And not just a transformative effect in the time itself, but it's continuous. Yeah. People change the way they react to people outside. Absolutely. They have different concepts, and there's a lot to learn after leaving, not just the dinners, but all of the activities that you guys provide.
It is so important that you actually have a face-to-face discussion with the person that you disagree with. In the age of social media, Twitter and so on, and with the algorithms, you often live in a bubble. Yes. And it's very easy to vilify the other party. Absolutely. So it's absolutely vitally important that you sit together and sit together without pressure. Yeah. Because sometimes if someone has a following, they feel compelled to say something in front of their following. Right. But if they feel that this is a safe place, they can actually talk openly and honestly, and if everybody does that, you realize that you have a lot more in common, and then you find common ground, which is a beautiful process. Absolutely.
Now that you mention it, when we talk about social media and technologies and everything, there is always this misunderstanding that social media, technology, all these things are bad when it comes to that sort of communication aspect. The fact of the matter is the use in a wrong way of social media is what makes the algorithms go into misconceptions. The incorrect prompting of AI or the other factors is also, well, people will say, okay, I asked AI this question and they agreed with me. Okay, how did you prompt it?
Yeah.
So that is also something that is targeted a lot now with educating people in the use of social media and in AI, and how to have ask the proper questions in the proper way without being biased or making it biased. Do you guys aim to also fit that into the events and the creativity that you're providing?
So technology and specifically social media is something that we're very active in, and we have accounts in all the major tools or platforms. We've not incorporated AI yet. That's something you need to proceed with extreme caution.
Yes.
But going back to what you said about the social media is a tool, and it can be used for good or for bad. It's, the knife could be used to harm someone or to perform life-saving surgery. So it depends on how you use it. And we use the social media to spread the message, to amplify what we are doing. And sometimes the algorithms are in your favor, sometimes they're not. So yes, we use it, but at the end of the day, what matters is the actual workshops, the actual activities, sitting with people face to face and having that one-on-one interaction. I think that is the most important, fundamentally important component.
Absolutely, human connection. How did the tolerant and pluralistic nature of the kingdom inspire you to establish this foundation, the Foundation for Dialogue?
So, of course, we are a pluralistic society. Bahrain has a 5,000-year-old culture. We're a trading hub. That has communities from all over the world, from various backgrounds, various religions, various ethnicities, various sects, and so on. And what is nice is that this is reflected in the laws that we have here. So meaning that when we wanted to create a foundation like this, I wouldn't say it was easy, but we got the license. And since getting the license, no one's ever been involved. No one's asked us, what are you doing? No one's tried to stop us with anything. There's a relative freedom here. You can do these kind of events. You can call people, invite people, bring people together. In Bahrain, we have, I believe, 666 plus societies or foundations in Bahrain that are very active. So I think as a per capita number, that's probably one of the highest in the region or in the Arab world. And of course, not all of them are active, but it shows you that this is something that is accepted and encouraged in the Kingdom of Bahrain.
Right. Also, the transparent attitude of the foundation itself is the part of its success because it is known what is the topics that are being talked about and what's going on. And also the people that you invite are those of the caliber that you want to have communicating with each other. Bahrain Foundation for Dialogue has various creative initiatives to promote civil dialogue. The interactive dinner, of course, we already talked about it, is one of them. And also there are a lot of other activities that feed or that are a part of these. Tell us a little bit about them, and we'll talk about the dinner in your next upcoming session.
So apart from the dinners, one of the things we try to do is to have regular contact with various elements of society. So one of the things we try to do is to visit majlises on a regular basis. Different areas from different sects, give lectures and talks about what we do, partnerships with other societies, and of course we have something called the Tayseer program, which I believe we can talk about a little bit more. So it's a mixture of activities that we do, and I think what gives us credibility, we've been working for a decade and a half now, and we can see the respect and the weight the foundation carries. I believe this is due to us having no other agenda other than really genuinely serving the kingdom. So the board is a volunteer board. The members are volunteer members. We do have a paid staff, but really it's the passion that drives this organization. The fact that there's no political agenda has helped us a lot. So we're very proud of these achievements.
Tayseer, you mentioned it. This is a program that is offered by the foundation, and it provides training courses and capacity building programs on principles and methods of designing and facilitating community dialogue. Tell us about that and how that idea came up. And who runs it?
This is something, this is really our crown jewel. Our crown jewel used to be the dialogue dinners, but it has pivoted towards the Tayseer program. And what is beautiful about this program is that you can now scale dialogue, which is beautiful. It's a lovely program. It started a few years ago. We signed an agreement with a global organization called Search for Common Ground. And we had an 18-month program with them where we had a knowledge transfer of how to design and implement dialogue programs. So this program we did with them. We took the content, we Bahrainized it, if I may say so, and then we've kept on improving it over the years, and today we're on the 4th iteration of Tayseer program. So what is Tayseer? Tayseer is an Arabic word which means to facilitate or facilitation, because you have to facilitate the dialogue sessions, right? So what we do with our cohorts is that we help them design a dialogue program. We give them the tools to analyze conflict. We give them conflict analysis tools. And we teach them how to facilitate dialogue, and what are the skills needed, the interpersonal skills needed. But we don't stop there. Then we encourage them to pitch for dialogue, community dialogue initiatives. So we do like when you see startups having a pitch session where they pitch their ideas to investors. We have the graduates of the program pitch ideas to get funding or support for their dialogue, civil dialogue initiatives. Then we encourage them to execute, and then we follow up with them. The foundation itself does not adopt any of the initiatives. We are there for logistical support as needed. And so we've had dozens of programs around over the years. We still have some active, and in fact there are some initiatives that are done we're not even aware of. They're very successful. And so we've had our graduates get involved in solving 40-year-old disputes in certain areas that have been inherited from generation to generation. And some of the initiatives are large, long-term, some of them are a bit smaller, but what drives it is the passion of the people wanting to implement them. And they have the passion coupled with the tools to do this correctly, which leads to positive outcomes.
Absolutely. I mean, that's amazing hearing that. And just to bring a bit closer to viewers, what goes into all of this kind of planning and creativity and doing this is not just the educational aspect and having the mindset for it, but a lot of culture goes into it, because a lot of the feuds or whatever the problems that happen are because of cultural differences or something like that, or misunderstandings or miscommunication. So it's not just having professionals there that guide you within one sphere of what to do next. It's actually like a multidimensional, multidisciplinary team that actually works with them. Tell us about your team. Tell us about the people that make this happen.
So we have on multiple levels. So we have board level. On the board level, it's myself and then my fellow board members, and most of them have been with us from the beginning. And we are all volunteers. We have our day jobs, as it were. I'm a businessman, and all of them are executives or have something that keeps them busy during the day. Yet still they find time to do this. And then we have a staff that run the foundation on a day-to-day basis. The foundation is actually based inside my office, so I'm working very closely with the team on a daily basis. And then we have our members. We now have around 100 members. And we have some amazing trainers as well that are all members of the foundation. They've gone through the trainer program that we originally had with Search for Common Ground. And then we have our own train the trainer program. We are also now partnering with other organizations to provide higher level certifications and train the trainer in dialogue training. And when you put this all together, if I may say so, something beautiful comes out of it.
Yes, definitely. Now, the project has achieved a significant amount of success and attracted a lot and a strong interest with hundreds of activists. You've mentioned societies, but hundreds of activists or interested individuals are participating in all of the various editions since 2016. How do you value this kind of success when you hear and when you actually see its fruits?
Honestly, you can't put a value on it. You cannot. And a lot of it is when you work in this field, you don't realize that what you're doing is you're planting seeds, some of which will take weeks or months to come out, and some of them will take years. But if you plant enough seeds, you will have a beautiful garden or a beautiful forest, even if I can use this term. And so when we look back and we see what we've achieved, what we've done, I don't know how one can put a value on it. It really is a beautiful thing to behold. And when people give you feedback over and over again, how this has been a transformative experience for them, you can't put a value on that. Every event that we do, and every workshop that we run, we always do surveys at the end, and we want to see, we ask a few critical questions. One question is, do we need more of such activities in Bahrain? The answer is nearly 100% yes. Yeah. Some were 99 point something say yes, we do. And our average rating is, I want to say, 9.4-ish out of 10 for our events. And it almost never goes on average below 9 point something. So we know we're making an impact, and this has really something that we're very proud of. And it comes down to the passion and the work of everyone involved in the foundation.
Absolutely. Now, when we look at everything that you've mentioned as initiatives, programs, everything that you guys offer, as you said, you've planted the seeds. The seeds have been planted since April 2012. That's when the foundation...
May, correct, yes.
Yes, okay, around that time. And since then, I mean, some of the initiatives, we've talked about the dinner, we've talked about Tayseer, but there's so many more that are coming and that are being launched now by the foundation. Tell us a bit more.
So most of the initiatives now are done by our graduates.
Okay.
So it's our job to say, once they've done the Tayseer program, we say to them, all right, you now have the skills, you work together in a team. What do you need from us? Let us know what you need, and we follow up with them. So what we do now is we follow up with the leaders of the dialogue initiatives, and we have monthly monthly meetings where we exchange ideas and best practices. Yeah. So that's part of our follow-up. And so we have these meetings with the leaders of the initiatives, and someone might say, can the foundation provide me a letter of explanation to so-and-so office or whatever, so we'll provide this. Can you help us find a location? Can you come and attend this with us? So we actually attend with them in the initiatives, and sometimes it's better for us not to get involved. We don't come into a situation or into a society or into an area where we say we have the solutions, we're here to come and be the saviors. Absolutely not. Yeah. The locals need to run the initiatives. They need to be able to assess the initiatives. We're behind the scenes to support them as much as possible. And that's what leads to positive results.
Right. From your point of view, what is the importance of spreading this kind of awareness of social dialogue, not just among the generation of people that are in our generations, you're talking about the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, but the younger generation that is coming up now?
Look, we did a program in the summer in the youth city, where we call it the Dialogue Ambassadors Program. Yeah. And we trained a group of youth from the ages of, the youngest was 17 or 18, I think the oldest was 33. Okay. And what was beautiful is that they were very, very, very keen. They came up with their own initiatives that they wanted to do. Some of them were still in university. Yeah. And we see that if you do it with a grandfather or grandmother or a teenager, the same passion is there. They're very keen on learning the skills and implementing their initiatives. But even if they don't implement, these are skills you take with you for life. Okay. You take them into the workplace, you take them into your home, you take them at the dinner table, learning the skills of how to listen without interrupting, how to control your ego. All these things are life skills that you take with you throughout your life. And again, we're very proud that even if there's no initiatives that come out of it, the fact that Bahraini youth and elder generation are very into this is, I think, for us a success story.
In performing its role, the Bahrain Foundation for Dialogue deals with so many local and international institutes. You mentioned some of the international ones. How do you value this kind of cooperation? Why is it so important?
Thank you for your questions. I think international cooperation is so important. When we started, we had a learning trip to Northern Ireland. We were hosted by an organization there, the Causeway Institute, and that was a very transformative experience for us. And we met literally former members of the Irish Republican Army, people that have committed violent acts, that have reformed the way they act and they think. And this is what they call conflict transformation, when you turn a conflict, instead of being violent, into non-violent, even though the underlying issues are still there. So they went into now the legislative assembly, where they discuss these things and try to solve them. Still, there's a long way to go, But that was a powerful learning experience. We went to South Africa and we met with people who worked directly with Nelson Mandela. We had the privilege of meeting one of my reconciliation heroes, which is Mr. Rolf Mayer. And he was one of the architects that was responsible for the transition from apartheid to democracy. And so these learning experiences are just invaluable. We have partnerships with various organizations, so we try to learn from each organization. And now more and more over time, they're asking us to share our experiences, which is something, again, I'm very proud of. We get called and saying, can you share your experience? Can you attend this event? Yeah. So we attended the World Tolerance Summit twice in Dubai. We attended peace conferences in Geneva. As mentioned, we were invited by the King Abdulaziz Center in Riyadh, where I was asked to give a talk and be part of a panel discussion. And we want to now export this model around the world. One of the attendees in Riyadh was a member of parliament. I don't want to say from which country, but she was keen for us to work with them and to transfer the knowledge. She's saying, our country, we're having challenges in this country, and what can I do? What are some of the things we can do? And I said, we're even willing to come to your country, share our experiences, and give you the skills and tools, and then you run with it. Yeah. And again, we can't come in and be the saviors because it has to be done on the regional or local level. But these international partnerships, cooperations are absolutely vital, where knowledge transfer goes both ways.
Yes, right. And the experience that you've gathered over the years and with doing all of this by itself, I mean, it is the reason behind why you have these tools and why you have developed
absolutely.
them. Absolutely. So after years of dedicated efforts, we talked about how the foundation has a lot of initiatives. How about its achievements? Tell us about those.
So we've done 300 plus events. The number keeps going up, so I'm not always up to date on the access.
300 plus.
Yeah, 300 plus. Probably now we're talking about 350 maybe even events. And close to 16,000 people have attended our programs, from Tayseer to online events to whatever. We've had a huge number. And I always tell the team, if just 1% gets truly changed, then we've done a good job. But we know it's more than that based on the feedback. We've also published our book, which chronicles the first 10 years of our journey. It's called Lil-Hiwari Hikaya, the story of our dialogue, loosely translated. And it has stories of the first 10 years from various individuals that got involved in the foundation. We also released a documentary. We published a documentary. It's available on YouTube, and people can see the stories that are there. It's all about stories and how the foundation has changed them and how it mattered to them. I'm hoping Q1 next year we will publish our second book, which is going to be almost like a textbook on dialogue, all the steps necessary. So you can read this book if you don't have the ability or whatever to attend Tayseer. If you're outside of Bahrain, you can read the book and start learning the skills as well. Soon we plan to have an online academy as well, where we teach these things. We will provide that so that we give these tools to as many people around the world as possible.
Finally, before we let you go for today, you just talked a little bit about the future projects of the Bahrain Foundation. But again, to pinpoint the local authority and the local people's contributions when it comes to the foundations, and how important it is for that kind of dialogue to be there between institutions. Tell us about who you work with and why it's so important.
On the local level? So I'll give you an example of Tayseer 4 now. So like I said, we're now in Tayseer 4, and we're doing 3 different cohorts. So in the first cohort, we invited government officials. We sent letters to the ministries, and we asked them to nominate names. Every ministry has responded directly on the letterhead of the minister, giving us nominations. No questions asked, no complications. They were keen for their team to do the trainings. And the next batch is open to societies and non-profit foundations in Bahrain, so we consider them our partners. We're giving them the price is already very reduced, but even a more reduced price for them, so that they send their nominees, and that's again they're sending their nominees. Our third cohort is open to the public. So it just shows you that the foundation has really earned the respect of society in Bahrain earned the respect, and I emphasize the word earned. Nothing was given. We've earned it. We've earned the right to get the respect that we have today, both locally and regionally and internationally, and we want to do more. So we're very proud to work with anyone that wants to work with us. Our doors are open. Dialogue is not an IP that you hold, but it's a gift that you give to the world. The more people learn these skills, like I said, they use them in life, they use them for conflict resolution, and it can be a truly transformative experience. So something we're truly happy about and proud about.
Thank you so much, Mr. Suhail Algosaibi, for being with us and for answering our questions and giving us more insight into the Bahrain Foundation for Dialogue. We look forward to all of the things that are being prepared for the upcoming and sessions or the upcoming quarter, and we'll see how it goes from there. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. And we'd also like to thank you, dear viewers, and thank you for watching us. We'll see you next week in another episode of Panoramic Edition.